Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Twist Christmas Gift Guide 2022. So in the previous guide, part 1, we looked at some games that you do with your hands, some games where you work together, some good options for 2 players, and a couple of other bits and bobs. And this one, we are going to start with an alternative to Monopoly. So what do you buy the person who traditionally always plays Monopoly on Christmas Day, but they're maybe getting a bit bored of it, they may be in the market for something a bit different, or maybe it's for you and your Christmas group and you're just kind of like, you just need to branch out, and Monopoly takes a bit of a while and you're looking for something a bit different, but you're not wanting to go like too far away from the old classic. I would recommend for you Zillionaires on Mars. So this is a property buying game like Monopoly, based on Mars. You are a zillionaire. You start with $49 zillion and you are trying to buy up the best property on Mars. So rather than collecting sets, what you're trying to do in Zillionaires on Mars is you're trying to get 4 in a row. It's bingo meets Monopoly and it's on Mars. It's great fun. It's super quick to learn, nice and quick to play. The pace is really good. And every single property goes up for auction. So in every single property, you have a chance to bid, you have a chance to outbid other people. There's no like, well, you landed on Mayfair, so everyone is in the game all of the time in Zillionaires on Mars. Highly recommend. Now we're going to go on to some stocking fillers. So first recommendation for a stocking filler is Cockroach Poker. This is a bluffing game. It's great, it's very take-thatty, and you'll be passing cards around the table trying to convince someone that you gave them a cockroach when actually you gave them a stink bug. It's very silly, kids find this quite funny. Ages 8 and up, it says on the box. But it's a great one for adults as well. It's very take that. If you've got people that kind of like, they just want to be a bit mean when they're playing board games and they like kind of catch each other out and be sly, this is a great game and fits perfectly in a stocking. Carrying on the stocking fillers, we have an absolute Twist favourite, Deep Sea Adventure, newly back in stock. This is a dice rolling push your luck game, so it's great for people that like to kind of roll and move a counter, that kind of classic board game mechanic, getting involved with this. However, it is semi-cooperative in that you have a shared oxygen tank that everyone uses the same supply. So once the oxygen's gone, everyone that's left in the sea dies. So you kind of like, you have to kind of know what other people are doing and work together, but you are also out for your own points. Really easy to pick up, and people will enjoy this whether they're into loads of board games or not. Really easy for everyone to play, but those that are maybe into their board games a bit more will kind of get that kind of bit more out of it and enjoy it as well. But also people that don't play a lot of games will have a lot of fun with it. It's very silly. When people kind of just like start taking too much oxygen and get left in the sea, it's very satisfying rolling with dice and moving on the very like sweet little counters, and just pushing your luck. It is like the epitome of a push your luck game. See what you can get away with, see if you can grab that extra sunken treasure for big money. We have got a silly stocking filler next. This is weird things such humans search for, and this is Family Fortunes meets kind of Google autocomplete, like when you type into Google and it gives you these things. So you are looking for the top 10 things that would come up when you type in, my cat wants to, on the internet. Very silly, very fun, lots of laughs around the table. We do a bigger version of this as well, but this is the perfect size to fit in someone's stocking this Christmas. If you're looking for a stocking filler for someone who's a bit more smart, maybe they like Trivial Pursuit, they're kind of into their, trivia, answering questions, but you want it to be, unless you're literally a genius, Trivial Pursuit Genius Edition, it's very difficult and can get a little boring. This is Timeline. There are loads of different versions of this. So this is the classic one, but they do events, they do invention, they do British history, whatever you're looking for. And it is a trivia game about dates in history. And what's great about it is the correct answer is in your hand. You just need to get it into the correct place. So what you're looking to do is you're looking to take a point in history and put it in the correct place on the timeline. As more people get correct answers in, the timeline grows, so getting the perfect slot for your card is going to get more and more difficult. Great little game, comes in a lovely tin. You can get a couple of versions of this and mix it if you're looking for a bigger game for more players. Really fun, absolute classic trivia game. It's what we always start people on when they come in here to Twist looking for trivia. Another stocking filler, this is kind of the stocking filler for probably the board gamer in your life. This is Love Letter. It's a 16 card deck with a couple of little cubes, but houses a really, really, really good game. It works well with 2, it works well with 3 and 4. It's a slightly different game, so it's a good one for someone that maybe sometimes plays as a pair, but sometimes plays as a 4, because you'll kind of get a different game. The strategy becomes quite different depending on if you're playing with 2 or 4. It's a lovely little bag, it's pocket sized. This was in my handbag for a very long time. There's an element of bluffing, there's an element of deduction. It's really kind of, you draw a card, you play a card, that's the mechanics of the game, but working out which card you're going to play and who you're going to play it on is the crux of the game. So yeah, a lot of people will enjoy this, but definitely would be my recommendation to go in the stocking of someone who you know likes a good board game, and you're looking for something that you can get them that's going to have substance, but in a small stocking-like package. And the final recommendation for part 2 of our gift guide is a Christmas game. And it is also a stocking filler. It is Don't Get Got Christmas edition. Again, there is a bigger Norman edition of this, but this is the tiny stocking-sized Christmas edition. This is the perfect game for people that don't necessarily want to sit down around a table and get involved in a board game. And maybe you've got quite a big group, maybe you're going to have people coming and going and a lot of things going on. Maybe someone's got to go and cook Christmas dinner. So you can play Don't Get Got throughout the day. How it works is everyone gets a set of secret missions. You keep those a secret, you don't tell anyone else what you're trying to do. And the first person to complete a set number of missions, you can kind of move it around depending on how long or short of a game you're hoping for, but the first person to complete their missions wins the game. So the missions are things like, say that it's snowing outside and get someone to go and check. So if that's my mission, I'm going to be like stealthing around. And if you're too obvious, everyone's going to know that you're trying to complete a mission. But trying to kind of get someone to go to the window and check for snow. Once I convince someone to do that, I get to tick off my mission and I'm one closer to winning the game. Great fun. You can kind of get everyone involved in it. It doesn't really necessarily feel like you're playing a board game per se. It's just like a fun social thing to do, and you can do it alongside other things on Christmas Day. Don't Get Got Christmas. Okay, that is it. That is the end of part 2 of our Christmas gift guide. Coming up in the third and final part, we have games like party games, games for bigger groups, and we have a couple of kids games too. So tune in for that, coming soon.